My name is Judy Simons, and I am the current president of the Bermuda Olympic Association. Bermuda women in sport run the world. Here is what gives them their winning edge in life.
I think what's driven me for a large part of my career as well, I love triathlon, I love to race, I love the training, and I think, obviously the Tokyo Olympics has been a big driver, and I won gold there, and so I think I'm at an interesting part of my career where sort of reassessing where I want to go next and what's gonna sort of fuel my fire for the next few years.
Well, number one, of course, is my love for the sport. As I said, I am totally passionate about track and field. If there's an event on TV, a track meet on TV, you could be sure that Donna, Raynor is watching it. I was up 4 o'clock Sunday morning watching the Berlin Marathon. That's just how I am when it comes to sports. No matter what hour, I usually find out what time it comes on, and I'm up watching it, right from start to finish. Sometimes I watch it once, sometimes I watch it twice. I want to see other young people get the same that I did. So my passion for passing on any knowledge that I have, being able to give athletes opportunities, similar opportunities, or even better opportunities that I had is another thing that drives me.
To know that, what drives me is something that changes every single day, just based on, the circumstances I'm in, the way I'm feeling, both mentally and physically. But definitely right now, I think what's driving me is being so close to the podium in Tokyo, coming away fourth. Right at the start, when I had those raw emotions, that was really tough. And I'd say that probably didn't drive me at that point. But now that I've had, the separation and can think about it, that's definitely fueling me to try and get faster and stronger and hopefully make that podium in Paris. And I think also, I'm just so incredibly grateful for the opportunity to represent our beautiful island home. And that definitely drives me just to do the best that I can and have Bermuda on my back.
I think I've always wanted to make a difference in the world. My career choice has been in the public health sphere. So I like helping. I like people to be happy and healthy. But for me, with sport especially, I think it has given me a platform to make suggestions about social change, but also to be a role model and sort of an inspiration to young girls and women in sport who are seeking a sporting career. So I think that drives me.
I'd probably describe it as intrinsic motivation. Primarily for me, it's what's within. What success is for me, I define it and then go after it. Some of it is concrete goals or comprises of concrete goals, and others is really around an experience. That was present at an early age in both training and international competition. Nobody in my family ever woke me up for morning practice at 5 a.m. before school and before primary school. And that continued all the way through to the end of my swimming career at Northwestern. And that's really when I knew I was done. So I had achieved the goal of participating in the Olympics and representing Bermuda, experiencing college athletics and all that brought. And that was it for the swimming career in that chapter of my life.
Listen to how sport has helped them with their success.
Yeah, I think that most lessons that are learned in sport can be transferred to life. I think it's pretty awesome, all of the lessons that you gain from sport that you can transfer, but perhaps my most important one, especially from diving, because it's one of those sports where you have to put all rational thought behind you and say, I'm going to launch myself off something high. But it's something that I teach my camp kids every single summer, and that's that there is no such thing as a brave person. Being brave is not a character trait. It's a choice that you can wake up every single morning and make. So whatever is required in life, you can make a choice to be brave, and it'll change your life immeasurably. So for me, waking up every morning and making brave choices is what my sport has given to me.
It's definitely about believing in yourself. Growing up with my disability was something that was really difficult, and something that I didn't want to accept. Sports gave me an outlet to be comfortable with who I was, and that I could still lead a successful life and set big goals for myself as well as achieve them. And so I definitely think believing in yourself is something that's so important, no matter what you go into, career-wise, sport-wise, anything like that, as well as working hard and putting in the effort to achieve your goals. It's not something that necessarily will happen overnight, so you have to keep putting in that hard work on a daily basis, even when it gets tough.
Yeah, you can learn a lot from sport, a lot from my competitors, a lot from racing that I can draw into just my sort of everyday life. And I think there's a lot of motivation, dedication, discipline, sacrifice. So I think what I've tried to do is that in this part of my career, I'm not always going to have these opportunities, and so make the most of that. Know that sacrifice is okay, and there'll be another chapter in my life where I can live very differently.
Sure.
It goes without saying the goal setting and the discipline that comes with swimming. Swimming is a sport that, again, has a significant individual element where you get up and your goals are your own. And you're obviously supported by others in the pool and coaches, but the goal, setting goals, driving for goals and measuring success in that regard. But also understanding that not everything happens when you might think it does, or might want it to be. And part of that growth and development is, and the lesson, quite frankly, has been both patience and finding a way. And those two nuggets, if you will, have carried on through life.
For me, number one is commitment. When we came up as athletes, as I said, under Clive Long, it wasn't, I feel like going training today, but I don't feel like going training tomorrow. It was, no, you'll come and train. Every day you need to come training. If not, Clive would call your parents. Clive would drive to your house. Okay, you missed one training session. And don't use the excuse that I have a lot of schoolwork, because he always told us you have to learn to balance schoolwork with athletics if you want to be successful at both. So that was always something, that I kept with me, and dedication and giving 100%. And once you start something, you don't stop.
Here are the secrets to keeping them mentally and emotionally strong.
Yeah, that's definitely the tough one. I always say, sports is probably 10% physical, 90% mental. And I definitely have experienced that with the Tokyo Games. That's definitely a competition that has affected me more, I think, on an emotional level than any previous one has. And I'm just so fortunate that I have such an amazing support team around me, with my coaches, my family, and my friends, who I all talk with, and they definitely help to keep me mentally strong. And it's definitely okay to, ask for that help when you need it.
Right. Was probably fostered. I think I can attribute a lot of that to my coach, Gareth Davies, in the early part of my career and athletic career, and spent a lot of time, which actually, quite frankly, we found quite amusing in the early days, visualization and breathing and some of those techniques. But they really served me well later in life, both professionally and in the later athletic years, because learning to still one's mind is really critical. And irrespective of work pressures, family pressures, life's pressures, that skill is one that I use frequently.
I always tell people sports make you mentally tough. You have to learn to win. You have to learn to lose. And I could tell you, every coach, and even my coach in Jackson State, it was like, you lose, don't come to me. You know what you did wrong. I prepared you. So, if you lose, you need to figure it out and find out what you need to do better the next time.
I think staying focused on a goal was really important to sort of maintain that strength over time. There are things that, injuries and illness and teenage angst and other career choices that come into play, and they thwart you every step of the way. So in order to stay focused and strong emotionally, mentally, I think staying sort of fixated on a goal, which for me was representation of Bermuda at the highest level, I think that's what helped.
Yep, to stay strong emotionally and mentally is really difficult and so important. And so for me, when I'm not training and I'm not abroad racing, it's having fun, not thinking about triathlon 24/7, and having a few distractions, and surrounding myself with good people and good friends to just keep me happy and laughing and smiling.